Hello everyone, my name is Dominono and welcome back to Dark Souls 1. So, as you remember, we left this guy to find the bonfire last time. What's he got to say?
You look reasonably sane.
Do I?
What are you doing in the catacombs?
The face of reasonably sane.
A cleric or something?
New.
No? Really?
Yeah.
Then I'd have no qualms telling you.
Oh.
There's a fine stash of treasure right down that hole. I found it first. But, well, we're friends now. I'll split it with you. In any case, have a look. It'll shimmer you blind.
What a trustworthy sounding fella. Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, there is stuff down there. Let's go check that out. Oh god. Ow.
This is what I do, my friend.
You're a prick.
Trinkets I'll be stripping off your corpse. That's the real treasure.
Yeah. So yeah, this guy's name is Patches. Patches appears in all of the Dark Souls games, and he's a huge prick. The skull lantern can be found here. That's the other light option, but it takes up the place of your shield. And I don't want to do that. Still, around this corner we find... Goodness.
Are you? Thank goodness.
It's that lady we saw earlier who was hanging out with Bolcut.
There are two face hollows not far from here.
There are indeed.
Once brave knights.
Mm.
Who would let such strong spirits be hollowed so?
Yeah, well...
Is there nothing?
Nothing at all to be done? No, actually, there is essentially nothing to be done about the whole hollowing thing. Hollowing is what happens. Ow. Oh, that was a bit force. Ow, my buttons are getting all sort of weird right now, I don't know why. Not today, you. And now you're dead too. You tried, guys. I believe one of you said very little, and I believe one of you insulted my face last time we saw.
You banished those two hollows, did you?
Yes, just around this corner.
To think of the trouble my failings have caused.
Well, don't be so mean to yourself.
That both Vince and Nico are grateful to you.
Oh, they had names?
You
Vince
so
McMahon
very
and
much.
Nico Bellic?
Here. These belonged to them. You deserve them more than I.
Oh, do I? A miracle.
I am certain that
Yeah, don't worry about it. So she'll actually go back to Firelink later. Although not directly to Firelink, she'll actually go up to the church above Firelink. So do find her there. Let's see, I believe that there is stuff to be found this way. Progress, or enemies, or... Ah, yes. Behold, the skeleton columns. They are weird. Weird and gangly things. Which can do a surprising amount of misery. In short order. So, you know, just hang in there. Hang in there and tough them out. This, I believe, is the way out. Leads directly to the illusory wall we found last time. So, that's handy. But we will skip ahead to some progress, shall we? Well, for now...
Oh, you.
Yeah, mm.
Let's just calm down. Talk about things. I did you wrong, but
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
did.
mean it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean. But you and me, we're jolly undead outcasts, aren't we?
No.
For heaven's sake, you're still alive. I know.
So if you let him live, he will become a
He's, you know,
he will become a merchant back at Firelink. Personally, I always generally feel compelled to just kill him because I think he's a prick. But hey ho, we'll leave him be for now. So there's something gargling around over here. Goodness, what is that? It's some manner of beast. Or, well, a bestial skeleton anyways. They are quite fierce, they do quite a bit of damage. They have horrible lunges and great big stamina eating attacks. I'm curious as to what exactly they are, because they are sort of humanoid but bestial, so it's not 100% clear. They could be giants that have sort of devolved, or they could be something else. So yeah, he took his sweet time. But like all the other Black Knights, he suffers from a bad case of backside blindness. A white tide night chunk. Is that useful for anything? I forget. Possibly. Possibly not. There are more bestial guys, as you can see, hanging around. Let's put the black bow back on and see if we can't out-snipe this sniper. That's gonna hit me right in the face. Now, fortunately, that the thing has hit him. You know what, I'm just going to tank these because I've got the spare Estus for it. Thankfully the arrows do stick in and light up a bit. Did that kill him? Yes, it did. Thankfully that horrible thing right there just wasn't interested today. Now I believe there is another one to the left, yeah. Let's see if we can't entice this one out first. Ow, right, yeah, see that's what I meant when I was talking about horrible stamina drainers. Ow. Oh no! Not enough time in between those swings to get your shield back up. Well, death was fairly inevitable anyway. Let's try that again, shall we? These guys pose a serious threat in here. You know, they're quick. You've seen what they can do to your stamina and by extension your health. I'm really not 100% sure what the trick is. Like, I'm not... Obviously the circle strafe is your go-to in Dark Souls 1 for essentially every enemy. But... like, these boys are ferocious in their own special way. Not to mention the precarious ledges, which Dark Souls 1 is again very fond of. Come on, buddy. Ah, ye what? You need to cover the distance. They don't take that many hits to kill, but you need to be able to... You need to be able to close the distance and enter their hitbox before they can start comboing you to death. I will take my stuff back, please. And let's see, there is walking stuff there, and there is another dude here. Come on, buddy. Ow. That's alright though. Now let's see. I can't remember 100%, I believe it's down there as progress. So let's just be away with this dude for now. What was that? Oh, it was his hand, I thought it was a spider. How strange. Ooh, a longbow. How handy that would have been like 10 years ago. I believe there is a drop off over here, which leads to the silver covetous serpent ring, but I'm not invested enough in that to go get it. Is it that way? Is it this way? This just goes to that. I can't remember what that is either. I feel like it might be a shield. Don't ask me why. It is a shield. The effigy shield. How did I know that? Oh, am I magic? Am I a genius? No. There's another bonfire down here because thankfully this is another one of those cases where FromSoft were like, you know, this place is actually kind of tough. Maybe we should be kind of nice. Maybe you should. So in here you'll notice glowy eyes for one big skelly and and a bestial skelly. And the bonfire is just around to our left. Hey buddy, pal, fella. Ah. No, come on, it's fine, let's go. Whatever, just die, please. And then there's the big dude there, but he doesn't seem all that invested right now. The bonfire is around here, I think. Should be. Yes, here we go. We'll light this. We will rest here. I should kindle this, so let's do that. I did just mention how I'm curious as to what these guys actually are, because they are human-esque, and yet also clearly bestial. But, you know, I'm not familiar with any living thing that resembles that. These guys are just, you know, they're giants. That's self-explanatory. We've seen giants already. Even ones that fall off the side of things. Do you want to just come back up here? This guy. Ow. Let's not do that, shall we? But those guys, you know, if there is any information about them... Oh my god, the sword stuck in me. Ooh, more white dynamite. But if there is any information about them, you know, let me know in the comments, those beast skeletons. So as you'll see, there is 1, 2, 3 right there. But I think we can slip by them, because I don't think that's actually the path to progress. Path to progress is down here. Ooh, Soul of the Brave Warrior. Why not? Couldn't hurt, could it? So we'll slip by them, go down here, hit up this ladder, and go into this little exposed part, which overlooks a big old arch tree, which is part of the... I think if that might be... Yeah, this overlooks the arch trees in the Grey Lake, which we may see at some point. Maybe I'll take us down there soonish. I don't know. Not 100% certain. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Oh, Dark Spirit Paladin Leroy has invaded. Leroy, how could you? Doesn't matter. You were nothing. But Leroy here is actually quite interesting, because he is the... Yeah, okay. He carries Grant and Sanctus, 2 weapons you can only get from killing him there, and they, you know, I've got to keep moving, but they tell us that Leroy was the first, I think the first paladin, or the first of the church, to go undead, and so in order to get rid of him the way they get rid of all undead in the church, because the undead is supposed to be unholy, no holy man could ever go undead, but in order to get rid of them they send them seeking the rite of kindling from Gravelord Nito, and Leroy was the first of them, and he carried the treasures, Sanctus and Grant, with him, which I think is quite interesting. You didn't see it earlier, but you can, I believe Leroy can assist you in the pinwheel fight. He can get all up in that pinwheel biz, and the columns do disappear and then reappear either under the floor, or it might be a surprise attack, I can't remember. Yeah, it is. Figures. Now, more importantly, there is a dude right there who is just waiting to kick us off. What a plum pudding. No, buddy. But of course, see here, the combination of longbow and swordsman is a ferocious one indeed. Ah, and that kick drains so much stamina. God damn it, come on guys, just... Thank you. Good shot, buddy. You tried real hard. Pop. But yeah, the further down you get, the more you get into this sort of weird organic cave structure, and a whole bunch of skeletons praying to what? Praying to Nito, I believe, is the most obvious suggestion. For some reason though, there are also pinwheels down here, which I really do not understand. Like, like, I guess there is an argument to be made that perhaps Pinwheel's soul is enslaved to Nito. But Pinwheel, like, ow. Pinwheel actually stole the Rite of Kindling from Nito. Like, there's no reason to believe that they might be on friendly terms. So Pinwheel stole the Rite of Kindling, the Church wants the Rite of Kindling. Being able to kindle bonfires multiple times is an important deal in all this. It suddenly occurred to me that I think I may have forgotten to pick up a mask from Pinwheel when I killed him. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Ah, a dead baby. That is just a dead child. That's depressing. Yeah, Pinwheel, you're scary and all. The reason I'm taking them on from range is because I don't particularly want to have to run down there and get shot at. There's probably not enough of them gone now to make running over there a entirely reasonable deal. There are, I believe, items and cool things around here that you can find under the stuff. Ow. Pillock. Barf. Soul of a hero. I forget if you necessarily need the light here. I don't actually think you do, and let's find out. No, as of this area, this place is sort of organically lit. For now though, let's traverse the white light and fight the Gravelord. Shall we? This fall is unavoidable. Drink up after you've made it. Ooh. Here in his coffin lies the dead guy made up of 1,000 dead guys. Skeleton Prime. And lover of all things that look even remotely like bones. Gravelord Nito, first of the dead. What is he doing? What does he want? Nobody really knows. Nito fought the dragons with the other lords at the start of the Age of Fire, but for now he just seems content to hang around and make people be dead. Oh, I didn't equip my thing, did I? No point carrying that right now. Right, so we're waiting here because... Uh-oh. Because Nito himself does count as a necromancer, which means these little allied skellies will come back without divine intervention. Ow! Thanks, Nito. Also, he does toxic damage, which is nice. That scream means that's happening. Oh, this isn't going too well. That's an explosion. Thankfully, I was close enough to be able to get my drink on. Ow! I keep mistiming that too. There are some giant guys around there who I don't particularly want to engage. So if I can just get these guys over here, backstab them where convenient, and then remove this so I can get my flip back on, then I can actually engage Nito properly. Oh, why am I sword unequipped there? Ow. So Nito doesn't have a huge deal of health, but he does have a lot of range. That horrible explosion there. Which thankfully, ow, does kill his friendlies. However, his affinity for toxic stuff and the like is super unfriendly. But again, his hitbox betrays his ability to hit you physically. It's the other skeletons that are the big problem, because if you don't know about the divine trick, like that one is constantly reviving because Nito is a necromancer. He revives all the skellies, including the giant ones. I'm not hitting him at all, am I? But, like at the moment, I'm kind of... I believe that can be outdone by line of sight, maybe, but for now I don't actually think I have access to line of sight convenience. Oh, Nito killed his own buddy. Now, since I'm doing him this late in the game, Nito is kind of a punk. See? We're done. Bang. But, you know, if you come here earlier, obviously he is as hard as, like, the bed of Izalith was, as tough as all that. But for now, we have our souls, we've done the DLC, we've done everything, and we finished this in great time. I think we're going to finish the game here. Soul of Gravelord Nito, first of the dead. This Lord Soul was discovered at the dawn of the Age of Fire. Gravelord Nito administers the death of all manner of beings. The power of this soul is so great that it satiates the Lord Vessel despite the fact that much of its energy has already been offered to death. Bed of Chaos, Mother of Demons, we've read that one. Bequeath Lord Soul Shard, soul of one of the 4 kings who fell to the dark. A fragment of a Lord Soul discovered at the dawn of the Age of Fire. Lord Gwyn recognised the foresight of these 4 great leaders of New Londo and granted them their ranks and the fragments of a great soul. Although this is not a full Lord Soul, it can still satiate the Lord Vessel. And the Bequeath Lord Soul of the albino Seath the Scaleless. Fragment of Lord Soul discovered at the dawn of the Age of Fire. Seath allied with Lord Gwyn and turned upon the dragons. For this he was awarded dukedom, embraced by the royalty and given a fragment of a great soul. Although just a piece, it will still satiate the Lord Vessel. So, with all those 4 now at our whims, we have the ability to trigger the Lord Vessel and open up the final part of the game. Let's have a look, shall we? And here we are, the Firelink Altar. Rest of the Lord Vessel. And offer the souls that we've gained. Boom. So the vessel, as we figured out already, acts like a lock, and the souls needed to satiate it are the key, which opened the door to this blindingly bright space. Let's take a look-see, shall we? What's that? Seems to be a Black Knight, or rather, the spirit of one. In fact, the spirits of a lot of them. Welcome to the Kiln of the First Flame. So when Gwyn first linked the fire, there was presumably a great explosion, a sort of tornado that swept through this place and burnt pretty much everybody in it. That's why the ghosts are wandering around. A couple of them survived and yet live in this space. They're the only other enemies in here other than the boss. As you see, this stuff, like the metal, is melted out to one side, like there was a big swirling vortex of flame when it reignited. But it's dying down yet again, and we must go tend the fire. But the question remains, do we intend to link it, or let it fade? What do you think? Tell me, what choice would you make? Obviously, by the time you get to tell me about it, I will have made my choice. But I'm still eager to hear. I'd love to hear what you guys think of, like, of the lore of the flame and the implication behind the ages as they exist. Most of all, I'd like to know whether you think one choice is good and one choice is bad, really. Because as we've learned now, like I've explained most of it, because the NPC, Darkstalker Cartha, would have explained the other side of this conflict. Did not appear for us, sadly. But since I explained that Gwyn is keeping the age of humanity, and by extension the dark, at bay for now. Cannot parry that, can I? Can't parry that either today. But because he is keeping that age at bay, the natural order of things has become confused. Humanity's age, the age of dark, was supposed to be upon us, but Gwyn took it. He took it from us. Because he is either fearful, maybe with reason, maybe without, we don't know. Now, if Solaire had survived up to this point, his summon sign would be here, I believe. Sadly, as of this playthrough, he is no longer among the living, his son is lost. And we finish this journey alone. But not really, because we have each other. That's how I look at it. Admittedly, at the time of recording, you know, I don't have you. I am alone. But you're with me in spirit, aren't you? So you can, I believe, farm these guys for their weapons and chunks if you're so inclined. I don't feel particularly encouraged to grab any more levels or whatnot than we already have. I feel confident in my weapon choice. If you're curious, the ending level is 88. 36 vitality, 36 endurance, 45 dexterity. Everything else was at the starting state for our class. Let's heal up and go check out the final boss, shall we? Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. No pomp, no circumstance, just the Lord. Ow. So he's a tough cookie now. Does quite a bit of damage. But he is also thwarted by the environment, much like all the other bosses can be. And so you may notice that Gwyn is just... Ow! Whoa, fell into that combo pretty harshly, didn't I? But Gwyn is hollow. He is no longer conscious or aware. His soul is burnt out. And without it, there is nothing to hold him in place. He is purely... purely a instinct-driven warrior with a big flaming sword. He has quite a bit of health. He's fairly quick. He does quite a bit of damage. But that's pretty much all there is to it, really. We will fight the boss. See you back there. Round 2. Something I really, really like about this boss fight is the music. Like, it's so melancholy. Like, it knows that this is just the way shit's gotta be. Ow. It's such a good finale, I think. And it's the best kind of finale because it's the kind that doesn't require like a huge amount of flair or dramaticism. I said there was no pomp or circumstance to Gwyn's entrance, his appearance, he's just a desiccated warrior who is hollow like everyone else. Like even the Lord of Sunlight is not beyond hollowing. It's just the way it is. Come on, Gwyn. Buddy, pal. Nice kick. Like, listen to that piano, man. It's sad. Oh no, not again. Let's not fall prey to that, shall we? Thank you for conveniently getting stuck on a rock. I know, it's cheap, it's cheating, it's not fair, but... like, I need it. I'm not good enough to do it without that. You can parry him, I believe, but I'm, again, not good enough to do that. Ooh. Crafty bugger. Ooh, that was close. Ow. It's just such a ordeal. Thank goodness for the Rite of Kindling, huh? Oh, Gwyn. You feared humanity, you feared what we'd become, you feared the dark soul that lives in all of us, and ultimately became what you may or may not have cursed us all with. You may have been responsible for the curse of the undead. Nobody really is sure of that. But for now, all you are is a corpse. Goodbye, Gwyn. You've set in motion a chain of events that will not be broken for hundreds of years. Regardless of our actions, because that's the big theme of this game, and indeed the series, is the theme of the cycle. Things will always repeat themselves. So that right there, it looks like a regular bonfire, but it will trigger the end of the game. Soul of Gwyn, Lord of Cinder, contains incredible power. Lord of Sunlight and Cinder, Soul of Gwyn, who linked the first flame. Lord Gwyn bequeathed most of his power to the gods and burned a cinder for the first flame, but even so, Lord Gwyn's soul is a powerful thing indeed. Gracious. So, with that, we essentially reach the end of the game.
Thank you.
So much for sticking with it. Here is my choice. I choose to not link the flame, but to instead turn and leave this place to fade. See, whether you unlock the NPCs or not isn't important to progression of the Dark Souls. At least Dark Souls 1's endings. It's a choice you make. A choice that you may not even be aware you can.
Bless thy safe return. Let Karth and Framt serve your highness.
So which ones are Karth and Framt were unknown.
Serve your highness.
But now that Gwyn is gone and the flame has been abandoned, we rise as the Dark Lord in the new coming age. An age that will itself eventually end when somebody else links the flame.
Dark be cast upon the world.
Because that's part of the cycle too. Light and darkness are just
Returns.
revolving hands on a clock. Ah, such a good game. Prepare to die edition. Dark Souls is probably my favourite game ever. You may argue that while this is my first series on a channel, this is my first time that I've sat down and record myself to do a let's play, do a playthrough, you might argue that it might be a bad idea to start with a game that you hold in quite such high esteem. You know, how can I guarantee that I would do it justice? How can I guarantee that I would be able to talk about the right things at the right moments, and to do so in a well-spoken, eloquent manner? This has been a learning experience for me in a whole new fashion, because although I know a great deal about Dark Souls, this equipment, this standing, this recording is an entirely new development for me. It's not something I've ever done before. The first one I did was part 1 of this series, and I think over the course of this playthrough, over the course of these recordings, I think I've developed a lot of the skills in fledgling form. The ability to talk fluently and properly, the ability to find my words before I say them, the ability to edit properly, the ability to record properly, the ability to say what should be said and what shouldn't be said, and to do so while playing appropriately. I'm very proud of this. I think this turned out well. Especially, I think we got through this in a reasonable time. We're up to 21 episodes, I believe. 21 is the finale. That seems pretty good, given that the length of the episodes is everywhere from 15 minutes to 50, I think is the highest-ish. You know, I put a lot of time into this. I put time and I put effort into this, and I hope that the final result is worthwhile. I hope you enjoyed watching. I really do. You know, that's all I can say here, really, is, you know, we've hit the ending, we've hit the credits, all these names of these wonderful people who helped build this game, helped design what would become such an immersive world and become such a successful series, and I can only thank you for following me through it. You know, there are plenty of people out there who've done more coherent ones, faster ones, more successful by amount of deaths ones, people who can explain the lore better, the mechanics better, but you followed me through today, and for that I will always be grateful. Thank you very much. let's get a little less sappy. I'm doing another playthrough soon. It's probably going to be Dark Souls 2. Maybe there'll be some one-offs between this and that. But for now, thank you. Thank you so much again. Talk to me. Talk to me in the comments. Tell me what you thought. Tell me your opinions, your theories, your favorite builds, your favorite enemies, places. Talk to me about Dark Souls. And I will see you in the next playthrough. Bye bye.